Welcome to our virtual tour of the abandoned Y at Del Mar, California. Please read these disclaimers. All historical photos are credited to the original photographers. Credit to Chico43 and Mike2720 at trainorders.com for the intel. The Del Mar Fairgrounds was established circa 1936 on 370 acres. It quickly became popular with world-famous actors, musicians, tycoons, and politicians. In addition to passenger and freight service, the Y at Del Mar was also frequented by special Santa Fe Horse Express cars. This letter from a stable owner dated February 5, 1938, details how impressed he was with Santa Fe's commitment to safety and comfort for the thoroughbreds. There was also a Baldwin C8 280 steam locomotive and the John Spreckles business car number 50, which were static displays outside the Bing Crosby Hall from the mid-1950s until the early 1980s, when they were returned to the main line for eventual transport by rail to Campo and the Pacific Southwest Railroad Museum. This is the original layout for the Y and associated track. Looking south along the main line, you can see a parallel siding on the right, a parallel track on the left, and a track curving away also on the left. This photo is from Classic Trains Fall 2012 issue. It is a Del Mar Fairgrounds special in the early 1950s. The Del Mar Y was also key for round-trip travel of military personnel on weekend liberty from Naval Ammunition Depot Fallbrook, Marine Corps Base, Camp Pendleton, Camp Kearney, Camp Elliott, Naval Air Station Miramar, Naval Base San Diego, Navy Recruit Depot San Diego, and Naval Air Station North Island. During World War II, the Del Mar Fairgrounds were repurposed as a U.S. Marine Corps training site, U.S. Navy airfield, and a manufacturing site for the U.S. Army Air Corps B-17 Flying Fortress. With the advent of mass-produced automobiles and the national highway network, and long before California's worsening gridlock, demand for special events trains to the Del Mar Fairgrounds eroded, as did demand for freight customers located along the Y and at the distal end. CAPTRR from trainorders.com also noted there was a Del Mar Special run by Santa Fe on August 31st, 1988, which transported VIPs to the racetrack, led by EMD FP45 5998. Today, the Del Mar Fairground serves as a thoroughbred track, monster truck venue, car show venue, gaming, receptions, weddings, corporate parties, and concerts. The repercussion of the continued success at Del Mar Fairgrounds has been the gridlock associated with special events. But more on that later. This is the southern leg of the Y. There are 2 docking doors for boxcars. This is the northern leg of the Y. This rail was ruled in 1921. Drainage is poor in this section of track with rail, tie plates, and spikes heavily oxidized. I'm gonna try to dig it out. I think, there we go. Wow. A second set of parallel track is heavily camouflaged in dense foliage. We were only able to record a modest amount of this specific track, secondary to cacti, poison oak, vegetation with thorns, and wildlife. There are also these narrow sets of rails buried near the water, but our research failed to identify what they are for. The grade crossing at Jimmy Durante Boulevard was removed decades ago. The beautiful Viewpoint Brewing Company now occupies the last building that was previously served by the Y. Conceptual engineering double-track alignment alternatives between Del Mar Fairgrounds and Sorrento Valley. This will be the location of the future special events platform. The proposal in pink uses the Del Mar Y right-of-way. Could a portion of the Y's abandoned right-of-way be returned to service to remove the railroad tracks from Del Mar's bluffs? Per the conceptual engineering study, it is a possibility. This concludes our virtual tour of the abandoned Y that once served the Del Mar Fairgrounds and local industry.